Well, a proposal to loosen state regulations surrounding African-style hair braiding is headed to the Tennessee governor's desk for his signature. It's known as the Hair Braiding Freedom Act and eliminates the requirements for hair braiders to be licensed by the state.
Across the country, legislators are pushing to eliminate or reduce licensing requirements for natural hair care.
Representative Donna Bullock, who sponsored this bill, said in part, quote, natural hair braiding has been commonplace in the African-American community for centuries. The techniques have been passed from generation to generation and are learned from early childhood and do not require formal training to do.
We think there are 1,000 ways in which people can learn a skill.
Lee McGrath works for the Institute for Justice, an organization fighting to deregulate braiding licenses, because they say it stunts job growth.
What occupational licensing does is only set up one path, the government path, that is often captured by schools or people who sell textbooks and want to earn money.
Organizations like the Institute for Justice and African Communities Together often frame deregulation as freedom from government control. In New York, they're urging lawmakers to cut natural hairstyling training from 300 hours to just 40, claiming that braiding hair is a safe practice. But as these decisions move forward, one question remains. When education and training disappear, who is truly protecting the health and safety of Black women?
But I just wanted to show these images, but also highlight that the Institute for Justice, they have a national campaign to deregulate natural hair and braiding. So ACT in New York State has likened their legislation to this formula. And it always results back to it's a cultural practice. And we do not deny that, we understand it. But if you look, I highlighted in the circle, it's showing the lack of awareness. The braider and the lawyer both appear unaware of the visibility of the tightly pulled hair, a root cause of traction alopecia. So it's not a matter of 40 hours, 300 hours. It's a matter of public health and safety.
So our next presenters are the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name's Erin May.
Co-founding members of the Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition have been meeting directly with lawmakers to make sure textured hair care is treated as a professional discipline.
A braiding salon is focused on aesthetics, style, beauty. There's nothing wrong with that. However, a natural hair salon focuses on hair care. So we have to look at these two spaces and understand that they run parallel, but they're interconnected. And so it's our responsibility to accommodate both of those. And New York State has been a leader in texture and natural hair care since 1993.
Lawmakers are starting to recognize the difference between styling and true hair care, because when education and standards are missing, the consequences don't just affect the industry. They show up in people's lives in real and lasting ways.
This hair loss epidemic is a public health issue. This is not whether I like you or don't like you. This is not anything but abusive behavior based on aesthetics. And how do we prevent this continuum of hair abuse based on skill set or the lack thereof? Having a license is the key. Having a license is the way we can save our babies from not being scarred for the rest of their adult life.
As the NHBC continues pushing for stronger safety and education standards, their message has become part of a growing beauty justice movement.
We are digging into an alarming new report about popular hair product. Consumer Reports find some synthetic hair, often marketed to Black women and girls, contains carcinogens and at times lead.
After Consumer Reports released their alarming test findings, the coalition joined local and national partners to advocate for safer industry practices. Working alongside organizations like We Act for Environmental Justice, the NHBC has helped advance conversations around policies like New York's Beauty Justice Act, proving that protecting culture and protecting public health must go hand in hand.
Erin, you've been on these airways before talking to us about the impact that some of these chemicals have. The Natural Hairstyle and Braid Coalition, the work you all have been doing with Dr. Wendy Green, a phenomenal attorney, and so many others that we all have gotten to meet through you.
For years, the NHBC has worked to connect beauty to health, bringing science into a space too often dismissed as simple beauty.
Tell me about House Bill 1820 again. 1820 is about delicensing hair braiders. Braids, twists, cornrows, we're just braiding here.
When natural hair care is reduced to just braiding, it reinforces the idea that cultural practice exists without education or standards. And that belief about our hair is what continues to shape policy, perception, and the future of the profession.
In the state of Pennsylvania, received a blanket email saying that there would not be a renewal of the natural hair license in the state of Pennsylvania this year. So if you've been to a braider this year in Philly, they are not licensed. All right, and that unfortunate part is that it came from the state. People were very, very angry and upset because natural hair licensing and schooling costs a lot of money.
Stories like this are exactly why the work continues. When licensing disappears without clear pathways forward, it leaves professionals unsupported and communities searching for safe, qualified care. So the question becomes, what does it look like to build a future where cultural practice, professional standards, and public health exist in the same space? If you're a stylist, researcher, policymaker, health professional, or someone committed to safer standards for natural hair care, we invite you to bring your expertise to the movement. The future of beauty wellness starts with all of us.
So here is this.